What's up, my name's Matthew, and here's a quick guide for Araxxor. Generally, for a gear setup, you want to take your best crush weapon, anything from a Sarachnis cudgel or broken zombie axe up to a scythe will work, and then your best melee or crush armor. For your inventory, you want to make sure you have venom protection, so an anti-venom or extended anti-venom. You want to have a super divine combat potion, you want to take food and prayer potions, and you want to take a teleport to get back to a bank. Additionally, you want to make sure to bring a heavy hitting weapon like a ballista or an elder maul, or you can take what I take, which is a hunter sunlight crossbow with a couple switches to deal with the Araxyte eggs that spawn. If you take an elder maul, you also can bring vengeance on lunars to not take damage from the mirrorback Araxyte. If you're not taking an elder maul and doing that, you can take your Book of the Dead with Arceus spellbook to summon thralls and use double death charge. If you have more in-depth gear questions or you want to know what downgrades you should take or are available, I highly recommend checking out the wiki gear setups. I'll link that in the description below, or you can ask me here in the comments. I'm happy to help. To get to Araxxor, you can either buy Spider Cave teleports if you're a main account, which are drops from Araxxor, but you can also teleport to Sepulcher or to Darkmire and set up the long rope shortcut for agility. Alternatively, you can use an ectophile to port Phasmatis or the fairy ring code ALQ and then run south to get to the cave. Before you go into the cave at all, sip your anti-venom because these small Araxytes inside can hit you for venom, and pray melee, and then once you get to Araxxor's cave, you can sip your combat potion. The entire fight, especially if it's your first time going in there, you're going to pray melee, and you're going to attack the boss with melee. Make sure to stay in melee range, because if you step out of melee range whenever it's going to attack, it can hit you with a mage hit, and it doesn't feel very good. Take note of the eggs that spawn around the room. This is the first mechanic we're going to talk about, which are the Araxytes that spawn throughout the fight. They will always spawn with the southeast corner first and then go clockwise. The red egg we're actually not going to do our switch and shoot because we want to drag it close to the boss. It's much like a volatile baboon in TOA or an exploding Nilochus in Berserk during Tob, where you want to get close to it and then run away so it explodes. But the added benefit is if it explodes underneath the boss or near the boss, it will deal damage to the boss up to 80 damage. So we want to take advantage of that if we can. The other two eggs are green and white, and for both of those eggs, we're going to want to use our heavy hitting option to try to kill them before they can do much damage to us. The green egg spawns a range Araxyte, which will just shoot range attacks at you, and the white egg spawns a mirrorback Araxyte, which if you hit the boss whenever the mirrorback Araxyte is up, you will take about 10% of your hit back to you. And if you hit the mirrorback Araxyte when it's within your melee range, it will deal about 50% back to you. So you're going to want to range it if you can, or you can Elder Maul it while using Vengeance, and it will take care of it that way. But you want to take care of the white Araxyte as quickly as possible, and the ranged Araxyte once you're able to as well. The boss also has 3 special attacks. Each time you kill the boss, it will only use one of those special attacks each time it does a special. So the way you know which special attack it will use is going to depend on the color of the southeastmost egg, which is the first egg that hatches during the fight. If the egg is red, the special attack will be Acid Drip, which is much like the Chambers of Xeric Ulm fight Acid Drip, where it will hit you with acid, and then for 6 ticks, or about 6 to 7 tiles, it will drip acid onto the ground, and then you can get back on the boss. The second special attack is if it is a green egg, it will use an acid ball, where it will lock into one of the cardinal directions or in between, so north, south, east, west, or in between them, and it will shoot a huge acid ball at the wall. If you're in the way, you'll take about 18 damage, and then when it hits the wall, it will explode and acid will go all over that corner. And the final special attack is going to be if it is a white egg, so the mirrorback Araxyte, it will shoot acid splatter all over the corner that you're in or the side that you're in. All you have to do is move out of the way and you're good to go. And then lastly, the part that kills most players when they're learning is the Enrage Phase. So when the boss hits roughly 250 HP or about 25% of its HP, it will go into Enrage, where it will screech and then it will take its arms underneath its body. Then every 4 ticks it slams on the ground. And you need to be out of the way of the slam because it hurts and it adds poison on the 3 tiles where it slams. An easy way to handle this mechanic when you're learning is just to move out of the way when it lifts its legs up. So click 2 tiles away when it lifts its legs up, and then click the boss and repeat as you go in a circle, or you can walk the boss backwards if you need to as well. As you get more comfortable with the boss, you can actually damage the boss with its own slam. Here's how I would set that up. When the boss goes into its Enrage Phase and pulls its legs underneath it, you want to go stand 2 tiles underneath the boss. Once it lifts its legs up to slam the first time, red click the boss to get dragged out and melee the boss, and it will slam under itself once. Then the timing to get it to continually slam on itself is you want to click 2 tiles under the boss each time it hits the ground. So on the same tick it hits the ground from the last slam, you're clicking under the boss, and then you're immediately clicking the boss again to drag yourself back out to hit the boss. It takes a little bit of time to get the timing down, but once you get it down, it is really rewarding to hit it for an entire kill. And that's pretty much it for Araxxor, including all the mechanics and its Enrage Phase. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know down below. If this guide helped you, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And until the next time, see you later.